Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about online classes and how to succeed in your online classes. I know many of you are in online classes right now due to the pandemic, and although you never asked for it, it's a totally different ballgame and it's extremely challenging. It's much different than being in a live setting. First thing I want to say is that if you're having a hard time in your online classes, you aren't alone. Many people are struggling. It's hard to focus. It's hard to maintain that discipline, to sit by yourself with no one else around for long periods of time, listening to those online lectures, those pre-recorded lectures, and just studying on your own afterwards. It's really, really tough. So here we're just gonna run through 4 of my top tips to succeeding in online classes. The first technique I recommend is using a timer. I study in 25-minute increments, so 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. 25 minutes on, and then 5 minutes off. So for every 30 minutes of studying, I have that 5-minute break. I will do that 4 times, and then I take a slightly longer break. So maybe a break of 30 minutes, and then I get back to it, especially if I have a lot to study. For me, this helps mitigate the procrastination that I know I'm prone to do. I know I'm prone to check my phone. I know that I'm prone to scroll through Instagram. And so I can save that for that 5-minute break or for that 30-minute break. And at the end of those 4 sessions, I know that I got a quality almost 2 hours of studying in. If you want to make this more interesting or you want to incentivize this process a little bit, there is this app out there called Forest, and for the period of time that your phone is undisturbed, it grows a small tree. So you could download this app, and while you're studying during that 25 minutes, this little tree will begin to grow. And it maybe will provide a little bit of motivation for you to really stay focused during that period of time. I'll link it down below if you're interested. My second tip is utilizing active recall as much as possible. Now, if you don't know what active recall is, definitely check out some videos by Ali Abdaal or Karma Medic or some of these other big educational YouTubers. But essentially the idea is you pose yourself a question on a certain topic like, can I depreciate land? And when you see that question, you force yourself to think of the answer before looking at the answer that you have written down. It's really, really effective, and I found it to be the most efficient way to study. There is also a bunch of research that backs this up that implies that active recall really is the most efficient way to study. If you're looking for a way to implement this, I would really recommend the app Notion because they have this amazing toggle feature. So you can write your question, but just like a bullet point, instead of a bullet point, there would be a toggle. And you write the question, and then when you toggle it, you can write the answer down below. So for a lot of my studying, I will just write question after question after question after question on whatever chapter I'm working on, and then I can just toggle those answers, and it's basically this just powerful list that forces me to use active recall for every single topic in a chapter that I'd want to learn. Highly recommend this method. I'm going to make a future video on it. My third tip would be called scoping your subject. While active recall is great, in order to get an idea of what the chapter is going to cover, what the content looks like, you need to scope it ahead of time. So I would kind of call this a quick skim of the chapter's content and just highlighting the main subjects that you know you're meant to cover, kind of a macro level overview of everything that's in the chapter you want to learn. By scoping the subject, you have some idea of the content you're going to face, and it gives you a good idea of what you need to learn and just a general framework of sort of what you're progressing towards. My fourth and final tip is using time blocking to effectively allocate time in your days. I think when you're working from home, when you're studying from home, it's easy for work and school to just bleed into hour after hour, and it's hard to know when to shut it off. So I kind of like to look at my days and time block different things that I want to do. If I know that I need to work from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, I will block that onto my calendar. But then if there are other things I want to do as well, I know that 5 o'clock I'm going to stop working, and then I'm going to resume maybe at 6 o'clock to knock out some more studying that I want to do, or maybe a YouTube video or writing some content. By using time blocking, it allows me to put those boundaries into place so I know when to start and when to stop. And it also gives me a good feel for everything that I want to accomplish in a day, so I'm not left feeling like, what do I really need to get done? The great thing is that when you stick to a schedule, you know that you accomplished the things that you needed to get done. And so when the day finishes, you're not left in the lurch, you're not left feeling like, I wish I could have done more. Although you may feel that way still, sometimes there's just that much to do. But you're left feeling with a sense of sort of confidence and momentum that you're moving towards the goals that you set out to accomplish. Those are my top strategies for online classes. Regardless, I know online classes are tough, so hang in there and stick with it, because in the end, it will pay off as you finish your studies and move on in your careers. this is just the first step. So just see this as a challenge that you need to overcome, even though I know it might feel just about impossible right now. If you have any questions, just drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear how you are succeeding in your online classes or other techniques that are really helping you out that I haven't covered here. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next one.